Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's that random tech guy back with another video. As you know how we do it, no cuts, no edits, no none of that stuff that makes everybody else's videos so polished and they got crazy subscribers and all that stuff. But it's all good, I do this for the love of tech, and that's why I'm here. That leads us to this video, and this video is all about this guy right here, iPhone 10, or as most folks will refer to it as iPhone X. So yeah, I've got an iPhone 10 here, 64 gigabyte. Picked it up not too long ago, and if you see my last video, you know that I've been rocking with that OnePlus 5T for just a minute, and pretty dope experience. There was one major drawback that I discovered, early on in the ownership phase and all of that. And that's kind of what ultimately, led me to switch, even though that phone is amazing. Everything I said in that video was true then, it's still true now. But I switched back to iOS actually and got the 10, obviously, as I've already said. But yeah, one of the biggest issues that I have with OnePlus 5T, and I know a lot of y'all will probably laugh, but for some reason the spell checker kept breaking. I don't know if it was a software or a hardware issue or what was going on, but you know how when you spell something wrong and you see the little dotted line underneath a word that you misspelled? Well, it would do that for a little bit, and then it would just stop and it wouldn't work anymore. So what you'd have to do is actually close the application, the text message application in the app switcher, load it back up, and then it would highlight that word. But as soon as like you misspelled anything else, then it wouldn't work anymore. And so I got on the horn with OnePlus, and they were like, restart the phone and all that stuff. It should fix it. So yeah, I'd reset it. I'd reset the whole thing. You know, um, factory reset. Which is a bit of a pain. So I do that, and then it will work. I call back OnePlus. Thank them for their advice and all that stuff, and then it wouldn't work anymore. So yeah, that sucked. So I really got tired of that. I mean, hey, I can spell pretty well, but it just got really annoying. So, I had to get rid of that thing. So I sent it back to him, and I think I was using like an old iPhone 5C until I got my refund on the 5T. But yeah, I picked up this little guy right here, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I did quite a bit of research on it, and of course I followed the launch and stuff like that. I think the price tag kind of scared me away initially. I had my doubts about, Face ID and all that stuff, but for the most part, is it as accurate as Touch ID is? No. It works more often than it doesn't. I will say that much. If you ever find yourself out in the sunshine, the sunlight, and you got a lot of sun beaming onto your face, well, obviously that'll disrupt it, because you have a lot of infrared light naturally, from the sun and all that hits your face. So, it could, increase the failure rate as far as Face ID reading your face and then unlocking your phone. But for the most part, it was all good. Apple Pay at stores and stuff like that. It's not as seamless as Touch ID is, but it's not the end of the world. It's just something that you get used to. So whereas before you would kind of hover your phone over the reader and then get things going that way. Now you just double click it and authenticate it before you actually get to the reader. So it's not really that bad at all, I would say. But you're gonna have some people that just can't do without Touch ID, and that's why Apple's got iPhone 8 and stuff like that for you. But my iPhone 10 experience has been pretty good on a whole. I got to tell you that. Kind of comparing and contrasting my experience with OnePlus 5T. One thing that I absolutely miss is that beautiful 6-inch display, uninterrupted, no notch or anything like that. But honestly, the notch was a huge issue of contention, for the longest time. But I really haven't had an issue with it, to be honest. You really don't even notice it. I won't say you don't notice it, but it's not a big deal. And of course that's going to be subjective. It kind of depends on who you are. If it's something that you can tolerate, then rock with it. And if not, you have your receipt and a 14-day return policy. You can always take it back. But with me, it hasn't been an issue. The screen, awesome. The Super Retina display, as Apple has got it branded. Samsung, they rock with it. They call it the Super AMOLED. But yeah, Apple's got it Super Retina or whatever, and it's dope. It's handling, that's for sure. The level of clarity and stuff like that is like nothing we've ever seen on a Apple phone to date, for sure. Inky black levels, of course, with AMOLED displays. Anything that's black, the pixels just turn off. So I mean, you have really true black levels on the phone, which I think is great. The speakers are amazing. They definitely did that very, very well. I guess it's good enough to where you can kind of pass on, the yeah, the headphone jack at the bottom. Can't even think today. But yeah, it's been cool so far, folks. I mean, hey, if you got a few extra dollars or something like that, definitely shell out on it. One of the things that really attracted me to the phone was the larger screen and the smaller footprint. Don't get me wrong. I used to have the 8 Plus actually, and it's just, I got pretty big hands, but I mean, it was just kind of like doing like hand Pilates or hand yoga or something like that, reaching all corners of the display. It's not really a comfortable situation, So this is way more pocketable, it's dope. I'm loving it. Shout out to Spigen, for this. I think they call it the liquid air armor case or something like that, but it's dope, and I'm sure y'all are wondering which color that I went with. I went with the space gray one. And why did I go with the space gray? Well, that's pretty simple. Long story long, I went to the Apple store and I checked out the white one, the display models that they have out. And the stainless steel band around that thing is crazy scratched. Now I know there's ways to use, metal polish and stuff like that to kind of buff out those scratches and stuff like that. But that was really not something that I wanted to deal with. I always keep my phone in the case, but, as you all know, you have lint and stuff like that that gets in between the case and the phone and has a potential to scratch it. So that's something that I would really encourage a lot of people to do before picking up that phone, because those sample phones that they have in the Apple store are going to give you kind of an idea of what your phone is going to look like, especially folks that rock their phone with no case. So, that's definitely something that you need to check out. So I looked at the space gray and I was like, wow, this thing still looks brand new. Now, of course, Apple could have rolled out, a new phone to, keep it looking good and stuff like that, but I doubt it, because you look at the silver one and it's got scratches, just it's looking nasty all the way around the band. And what's crazy is with that mirror sheen that they put on there, the scratches almost make the band look like plastic. You know what I mean? Like old weathered plastic. So that was something that really discouraged me, when I was looking for, kind of seeing which color I wanted to roll with. So I'm glad that I went with the space gray one. And yeah, it's been amazing. 64 gigabyte model. I don't feel like I'm maxed for storage or anything like that. Obviously, there's going to be folks out there that 64 gigabytes isn't enough, where they have a 256 for you. So yeah, that's about it, man. I just wanted to bring y'all up to speed, let y'all know what I'm rocking with in my pocket currently. So yeah, catch me on the next video, and as always, subscribe if you can. Look, we get those subscribers up, we are going to have giveaways coming up pretty soon. And it's not going to be t-shirts or anything like that. It's going to be something substantial, power banks, all that good stuff. So, hey, show some love. Give me some likes, subscribe. We out.